www.999wefm.com. WeFM News online on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Be cool for school with free gifts and up to 50% off all the items you will need for back to school. Purchase an HP laptop for only $1,199 and get a free HP laptop bag. That's great, but wait, there is always room for a sale with more free gifts and up to 50% off furniture, appliances, and electronics. Save $500 on a washing machine and get a free iron, or get prices as low as $699 on lounge and get discounts up to $1,200. Get a blender, mixer, or even a microwave for free with your next purchase of a fridge or stove. Shop now with no cash and get instant credit for 3 to 48 months in store or online at shopcarts.com. The savings, sales, discounts, and offers are all great all month long. Only at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Prime Minister Dr. Rajiv Gonsalves will shed the foreign affairs portfolio to take up a ministerial responsibility for post-secondary education. Gonsalves said though, while he was always involved in this area, he will be taking it a step further and take responsibility for it. Prime Minister Gonsalves made the announcement at the press conference held at the Cabinet Room on Tuesday.
I'm going to take ministerial responsibility for post-secondary education, which means the community college and tertiary education. I've been involved in them, but I'm going to take the responsibility for those, and I'm going to shed the ministerial responsibility for foreign affairs, foreign trade, and also for the regional integration diaspora unit. Naturally, you can't have foreign policy without the Prime Minister being involved, but I'm talking about the ministerial responsibility, some of the nuts and bolts. So I'll shed some things, and I'll sometime this week, later this week or the next week, I'll send up the instruments to the Governor General.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Rajiv Gonsalves. Gonsalves said Senator Kiesel Peters, who's been Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs since November of 2020, will be promoted to full minister, saying that she has done well as Minister of State, adding that the requisite instruments have been prepared and will be sent to the Governor General later this week or early next week. The St. Vincent Brewery Limited, SVBL, has empowered its employees to come up with programs that would strengthen company camaraderie and pride within the company that they work for. Out of this came a new in-house social program called the Internal Pride Campaign. According to an official release, the Internal Pride Campaign was able to draw from the current internal awareness program at the SVBL. The awareness program includes the use of digital kiosks in prominent spaces around the Camden Park compound, like the commercial department and the staff canteen, to raise the profile of employees and to create a greater understanding between SVBL departments. As part of this awareness campaign, 2 employees per month are interviewed and featured on the kiosk screen, talking about their departments and roles. This was one of the avenues for promoting the Internal Pride campaign. According to Terry Clark, financial analyst at the St. Vincent Brewery Limited, the Internal Pride campaign is built around the idea that the team that plays together stays together. Mr. Clark plans and executes events such as fun days to be held every quarter at a different location. Still on the local scene, during his recent 6-day visit to Taiwan, Prime Minister Dr. Rajiv Gonsalves said he held meetings at the Taiwan International Ports Corporation. The Prime Minister said following these meetings, it was decided that the corporation will send a team here to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Gonsalves said that the team would be able to provide a broad framework for the management system and additional hands-on advice on the running of a port of an international quality. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
When I went to Kaohsiung and had the discussion with the people at the port and the Taiwan International Ports Corporation, they're going to send a team. I already reported this to the CEO of the Port Authority. We have done studies. The OAS did a study. We had another study which had been done about what the management of the modern cargo port is going to be like. And there is a strategic plan which the port has as to where we're going to go with the management. But I want, in addition to having persons who are good people, who will give you some broad framework and some structures. Because we're not building a $650 million port with any ramshackle management structure. Let's be clear. I want to get some additional hands-on advice from people who have been running ports of an international quality.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The port of Kaohsiung is the largest harbor in Taiwan, handling approximately 10.26 million 20-foot equivalent units worth of cargo in 2015. It is ranked 15th on the list of largest container ports in the world. On to news in the region. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, TTPS, says it will be adopting new strategies to deal with the escalating rival gangs and civilian shootings that have claimed the lives of more than 360 people so far this year. Last year, Trinidad and Tobago recorded 450 murders. TNT's acting police commissioner, McDonald Jacob, expressing concern with the upsurge in violent crimes in the past weeks, the majority of which he attributed to gang rivalry, said that the TTPS is moving to increase its visibility by immediately recalling all officers from vacation leave, restricting leave for the time being, and adjusting the duty roster. In most places, we have officers who will work from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. So that is 2 days, and then they get 2 days off. They will now be required to work 24/48. The task forces that worked 24/48 are now required to work 24/24, he told the news conference on Tuesday. Jacob said the additional manpower is expected to immediately boost the operational capabilities of the Interagency Task Force IATF, Guard and Emergency Branch GEB, and the General Task Forces in each division. Jamaica's Ministry of Labor and Social Security on Tuesday expressed sadness at the passing of farm worker Gavin Yap, who participated in the ministry's farm work program in Canada. Yap, 57, hails from Tangle River District in St. James. The ministry said in a release that Yap was a 35-year veteran of the program. It also said he was held in such high esteem that his employer would vacation at his home on visits to Jamaica. Circumstances surrounding his death are still being investigated. However, preliminary reports are that on August 14th, he was involved in a work-related accident and was pronounced dead on site, the ministry said. A team from the ministry's Family Services Unit has reportedly visited with Yap's family and has been offering psychosocial and other support. Meanwhile, Jamaica's Minister of Labor and Social Security, Kyle Samuda, who, along with Permanent Secretary Colette Roberts-Risden, is currently touring farms in Canada, spoke with Yap's widow by telephone early on Tuesday afternoon. Samuda reportedly expressed his condolences and assured her of the ministry's continued support. On the international scene, voters in the U.S. state of Wyoming have ousted Congresswoman Liz Cheney, a rare Republican critic of former President Donald Trump, in a primary election. She has been trounced by a relative political newcomer and Trump-backed candidate Harriet Hagman. Ms. Cheney, 56, was one of only 2 members of her party to join the congressional committee investigating Mr. Trump's attempt to cling to power. The 3-term Congresswoman was once a rising Republican star. Conceding defeat, Ms. Cheney signaled that this was the beginning of a new chapter of her political career. Our work is far from over, she told a group of her supporters, including her father, former Vice President Dick Cheney. All 10 Republicans who voted to impeach Mr. Trump after his supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol building in January last year have been targeted in a scorched earth campaign of revenge. So far, 4 have retired, and now 4 have been defeated by his chosen candidates in primary ballots in the states of Wyoming, Washington, Michigan, and South Carolina. And finally, in sports, British number one Emma Raducanu put a dampener on Serena Williams' farewell tour after thrashing the American great in the Cincinnati Open first round. Williams, 40, plans to retire after the US Open, which starts on August 29th, and lost in what is said to be the penultimate event of her career. The 23-time Grand Slam champion lacked sharpness, and her 19-year-old opponent punished her in a composed display. Reigning US champion Raducanu will play Victoria Azarenka in round 2. I'm so grateful for the experience to have been able to play Serena and for our careers to have crossed over, said the world number 13 Raducanu, who played superbly with her defense of the Grand Slam title in New York looming. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with a kind compliment of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Get the funds you need now, just in time for back to school with Courts Ready Cash. Plus, if you apply before October 3rd, you will be entered for a chance to win your loan free. That's right. When you take a loan for school expenses from Courts Ready Cash, you could be the lucky winner of up to $10,000 of your loan amount. Also, when you visit us during the month of August, you may receive free gifts like back to school essentials, gift vouchers, Courts Cash, Radio Shack coupons, and much more. Visit your nearest Courts or Ready Cash location or apply online at readyfinancecaribbean.com. Conditions apply. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Offer ends October 3rd.